Mindset, a daily dose of practical wit and wisdom with a professional educator and trainer, Amazon best-selling author, United States Marine, television and radio host, Paul G. Merkel. Each episode will focus on positive and productive ways to strengthen your mindset and help you improve your relationships, career goals, and overall well-being. Please welcome your host, Paul G. Merkel.
Hello, welcome back to the Morning Mindset Podcast. I am your host, Paul Merkel. Thank you for choosing Morning Mindset as your daily listening activity. All right. Today we're going to talk about chores first. Well, what the heck does that mean, Paul? I don't have chores. I'm a grown man. I'm a grown woman. I don't have chores. Sure you do. In our lives, that's my wife and I, we have an old black lab who's been with us for about 10 years now. And we have a bunny rabbit. Yes, my wife secured a bunny rabbit last year. And so now we have an old black lab and we have a bunny rabbit. And they're friends, but Mr. Bunny has to stay in a cage. Otherwise, Mr. Bunny will wander off. He's not smart like the black lab. He doesn't know to stay in the backyard. But they have to be fed every day, twice a day. We feed our animals twice a day. I don't know how often you feed yours, but we feed our animals twice a day. And generally it falls upon me because of the way our schedule's set to do the morning feeding. So I'll go out there. I get up, I hit start on the coffee maker, and while the coffee is brewing, I will go out to we have an outbuilding with a little doggy door in it, and it's got all the good stuff. And I will feed the black lab, and I will feed Mr. Bunny, and I'll clean Mr. Bunny's cage out if it needs to be cleaned out. And I do my chores first. The other day I was actually thinking about it. You know, I'm north of 50 years old now. But I remember when I was younger, much younger, and we lived on a small farm in rural Ohio. Now, I wasn't born on a farm. We ended up moving to a farm when I was a young teenager. But we had animals. We had cows and we had horses. Not a lot of cows and not a lot of horses, but we always had at least one beef steer that we raised for food. And we had hogs and we had chickens and we had all of that stuff. And it was my job before I went to school to go out to the barn and do the morning feeding. And that's what I would do. And in the wintertime, when it got really cold, there were times when it got so cold that the pump in the barn would freeze. And that stunk because that meant I had to carry water, 5-gallon buckets of water from the house out to the barn. That was no fun. But it had to be done, and I did my chores first. The animals couldn't wait for me to get up, have breakfast, and go to school and come back. And when I had some extra time to take care of them, no, they had to be taken care of first. Now, the reason that I'm bringing this up is because Morning Mindset Podcast is all about leading a positive and productive life, being more positive, more productive in your personal life, in your business life, in your professional life, whatever. So doing your chores first, this is part of delayed gratification. Yes, the concept of delayed gratification. How do we teach children the concept of delayed gratification? How do we teach them to take care of what needs to be done and then to go play with their Xbox or then to go do whatever it is that they're going to distract themselves with, play with their toys? Or do kids even play with toys anymore? I don't know. One of the ways is chores first. That's right. Chores first. Whether it's emptying the dishwasher or whether it's making your bed or whether it's doing your homework or whether it's feeding the animals, feeding the dog, feeding the cat, whatever it is, we need to do our chores first and then after that. Now, even as long in the tooth as I am currently, once I have fed the dog and the bunny, Mr. Bunny Rabbit, and I stroke him and I pet Mr. Bunny Rabbit and I tell him that he's a good bunny. After I've done that, then I can sit and I can actually enjoy my coffee. Because if I don't feed them first, if I brew the coffee, sit down at the kitchen table, what will happen invariably is the hungry black lab will wander up onto the back porch and he will lay there and he will whine because he's hungry. And I will not be able to enjoy my coffee, can I? No. So if you do your chores first, if you teach your children that they do their chores first, they will enjoy whatever activity it is that they're planning to do after the chores. Whatever. Who knows what kids do today? So if you want to teach the concept of delayed gratification, if you want to teach responsibility, if you want to teach them positive life and work habits, it's pretty simple. Teach your kids to do their chores first. I learned that 30, 40, a long time ago. It was a long time ago. And I don't always apply that 100% of the time, but I do pretty much all the time now. When it comes to physical training, I do my physical training first, and then I have my cigar and my adult beverage later. And I can enjoy my cigar and my adult beverage knowing that I did the hard work and the hard work is behind me. So if you take one piece of advice from today's morning mindset, put it in your pocket, carry it with you, it's do your chores first. And you will be on your way to leading a more positive and productive life. Yes, indeed, I am your host, Paul Merkel, and your host, Paul Merkel, wrote a book. And I would like for you to avail yourselves to that book. It's called Morning Mindset, a 30-day plan for a more positive and productive life. And I want you guys to have it. I want you guys to use it. I want you to utilize it. It's not that expensive. You can get it from Amazon Prime shipping as a paperback, or you can get it and put it on your phone if that's your bag. That's what you like to do as a Kindle. If you really, really would like an autographed copy of the book, you can go to morningmindsetpodcast.com and follow the link, and we'll be happy to send you one, or at least my producer and the shipping ogre will be happy to send you one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being out there, being a part of the audience. I am your host, Paul Merkel, and I'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for spending time with us today. To get show notes, submit a topic request, and for more from your host, Paul G. Merkel, visit morningmindsetpodcast.com. That's morningmindsetpodcast.com. Please leave a review for this podcast on your favorite podcast player. We appreciate your time and effort, and we look forward to reading your honest feedback.